Second delay. Hey, what's up? Hello, James. How you guys doing? I hope you guys can hear me all right. Hello, Black Wolf. How you guys doing? I hope you guys have had your day's been going well so far. I'm doing well, and hiya, Jackie boy. I'm just getting ready for my trip. I just finished packing. Suitcases right there. So I'm getting ready to leave tomorrow at about 10:30. I'll be on the road for about 4.5 hours. I won't get to my destination until hopefully a little bit after 3. I'll probably take maybe a 25 minute break in Barstow before I continue on. I'm going to LA. I guess first technically I'm going to Anaheim, and that's where I'm staying. And on I'm gonna be in like California, typically the LA area, for about 3-4 days. The first full day I'm there, I'm going to go to Disneyland and hang out with a good friend of mine. And then the day after that, I'm going to MGS Con. And then the day after that, I'm driving back home. So yeah, I'll be there like about 4 days. Hello, Vamp. How you doing? What if Konami remade Metal Gear Solid 4? They probably... I wouldn't play it, because it doesn't need to be remade. How would I describe Uncharted 2, Uncharted 3 in 2 words? It's okay. Those are 2 words. It's okay. You're going to Raccoon City? No, I'm not going to Raccoon City. I'm going to technically the Los Angeles area, but first I'm staying in Anaheim, and then when I go to MGS I'm driving to Long Beach, and I think that's maybe a 15-20 minute drive. Watched your Try Not to Vision. Wasn't my kind of humor. That's fine. It doesn't work for everybody. I don't know. I just wanted to try one, and I was just thinking, what was a really funny video that I can kind of semi recall, and that's the one that came to mind. I hadn't seen that in like almost a year. I think last time I saw it was like last September, and like me and my brother were like cracking up. So I didn't know what video to pick for like my first try, so I just picked whichever one. The first one was in my like favorites playlist, and that's the one that came up. So yeah. Dude, Vamp, that rumor is so old. Dude, they're not making a Metal Gear movie. That thing has been in like pre-production for like 6 years. The last time we heard any update on that film was like not Pedro. I can't remember. Can't remember his name. Not Pedro Pascal. Someone else. Someone else had been cast as Snake, but like that was it. But like that was 3 years ago. So I think it's fair to say that Metal Gear movie is dead. And on top of that, I don't think you could do Metal Gear justice in 2 hours. You just couldn't do it. It's not possible. Would I ever consider canned food reviews? No. I don't review food, Bob. That seems wrong channel. Sean, what would I do if I lived in the DC universe? I'd get out. I'd open some sort of boom tube or portal, and I'd get out. LA is Raccoon City. I guess you could say that in a sense. It's a city I personally hate visiting, but unfortunately, there's so many things that are there. And I typically am trying to stay away from like downtown LA's, but I'll only be there for maybe a day. But Anaheim, I've always felt safe going to Anaheim because when PlayStation was doing all their PlayStation experiences conventions back in the day, that's where I would stay. I would stay in it was held in Anaheim, and that's where I think that's pretty much where I want to say maybe E3 is held. So Anaheim I feel is pretty safe. I wouldn't mind seeing you read to Mr. Krabs or react to Mr. Krabs' unquestionable bloodlust. I'm not sure what that is. Heard the Deadpool ass controller. I saw a picture of that. It was like a Xbox and it was done with Deadpool. I mean, okay, got a way to promote the film, so I mean, I don't have an Xbox and I'm not interested in one, so yeah. Sean, are you going to get collector's edition Assassin's Creed Shadows? Yeah, I already pre-ordered it. Unfortunately, you could only pre-order it from GameStop, so yeah, that's been pre-ordered, and I'll do an unboxing and the whole thing. That's like I think that'll be like the first and only collector's edition I've gotten this year. I think I got Dead Space last year, but that took like 4 months to get to me after I pre-ordered it, so. We don't need. Yeah, man. That's how I felt. Like those games are so cinematic. Just watch the cutscenes. Like literally, just watch the cutscenes. Maybe you could tag in the boss fights, and you have a pretty compelling film. Joke question: what if I were the world of? I'd hang myself. I would literally lynch myself. Literally. Bob, Brian, what if a genie game came to you? Oh, a genie came to me and would offer you 10 million new subscribers, but you have to wear an adult diaper every day for 10 years. Spoiled. Yeah, probably not. No, I'm good. I wouldn't know what to do with 10 million subscribers. I wouldn't know what to do. Mr. Krabs' Unquenchable Bloodlust is an old YouTube poop made by Emperor. Never heard of it. Do I think the trailers can sometimes be better than the actual film? I've definitely seen examples of that where, like, a trailer will make a movie look cooler than it is, or in some cases, a trailer will actually spoil the whole film so you don't have to see it. Like, I really think that's what the Gladiator 2 trailer did. I think it spoiled too much, so now I'm like on the fence if I even need to see it. Let's see. Would you go on a date with Harley Quinn? Which version are we talking about? It depends. Which version? How would I rank these series? Metal Gear, Resident Evil, Devil May Cry, and God of War. Resident Evil's last. Devil May Cry second. God of War's no. Devil May Cry's third. God of War second. Metal Gear's number one. That's not that hard. Hope Joker from Matt Reeves' Batman in the last movie of the trilogy becomes more Hannibal Lecter by escaping Arkham, not becoming main villain in any of the movies. Let's just see some other villains. I would prefer they never just introduce them at all, but like they are like they feel so powerless. It's like anytime you bring in a new Batman, you have to put in Joker. And I was like, I don't believe it. There's so many villains that have never even been on screen that you could do. So I'm kind of tired of them just doing nothing but Batman Joker. Like I get it. But like let's try something else. Like I would be fine if like we had an era where there was no Joker. I don't think Joker is needed for Batman. You can tell compelling stories that challenge Batman in many great ways without needing to have the Joker. I just hate that they keep falling back on that because they feel they need to. And welcome to the chat, Zach. How you doing? Would I eat my own? No. Good God, Bob. Ask them normal questions, not these sick questions. How do I think Kaiba would react to a dual monster spirit like Yubel if you saw her? I think he would be just kind of confused. That'd just be like, I mean, he's seen weirder things, so I don't think he'd be too surprised. What if I lived in the galaxy of Star Wars? Wouldn't want to live there either. Find a nice, quiet planet and just stay there and hope that no one shows up. The cartoon Harley was introduced, think late 90s, early. No. If you're talking that Harley, then the answer is no. Who is my favorite Batman villain besides Joker? I did a list of this. Maybe Bane. Like, I'm trying to think. I recently had a chance to rewatch, like, a part of that video, and I know, like, I like the Court of Owls, and then Bane, and then Scarecrow. Like people like that would probably fit in that category outside of Joker. If I were an Amazon writer, which 3 Batman foes would I be willing to eat? I wouldn't want to eat any of them. Man, what is up for you guys today? You guys are throwing some weird ass questions there. Just makes me question if there's something going on in your brains or something. Roden, I would love to have a remake of the PlayStation 1 Aladdin game and the Hercules game. I never played those games. I did play the Aladdin game on Super Nintendo, and I know they kind of like semi re-released that. But you know, I can't say I didn't play those versions of those games. Would you play Lego Brian? No, I would not. No, Bob, I would. I feel like you're new. I've never had someone who just has just nothing but just weird questions out of nowhere. I feel like you're new. Sean, would you team up with Obi-Wan and Cal Kestis? I think I'd be a bad teammate because I can't use the Force, so I think I'd be a bad teammate. Vampire, do I like Spawn? Yeah, Spawn's cool. I thought the 90s film was okay. The animated series is really good. I mean, I've never really read too many of the Spawn comic books, but, I would say if they ever want to do another Spawn movie, I would definitely go check that out, especially with the advancements in filmmaking. I think you could tell a really great, compelling Spawn movie. Do you think Batman could ride a horse? I'm pretty sure he knows how to ride a horse. Pretty sure. In fact, if you watch, I think The Dark Knight Returns, the animated film, I believe in the first one, he's riding a horse. So, yeah, pretty sure Batman knows how to ride a horse. Bob, would you want powers of Spider-Man, but it makes you attracted to men? No. I'm good. Jackie Boy, so in Yu-Gi-Oh! Pyramid of Light, Anubis wasn't the Egyptian god of the dead. He was a faker. The Pyramid of Light was built to counter the Millennium Puzzle. I'm aware of that, so thanks for the info. I mean, I did actually see that movie in theaters, surprisingly. Black Wolf, an Amazon rider is a Cayman rider. What the hell? I didn't know that, so I can't comment, Black Wolf. Which food drinks do I like mixing together? Food or drinks? I guess I could eat anything with lemonade, so I guess anything with lemonade, I guess? A real villain story like Court of Owls movie would be brilliant to think. Yeah, Roden, I think a Court of Owls movie would be absolutely incredible. I think it would be something that most people don't know about, but it's such a compelling story. According to a novel I heard about. No comment. Have I watched the Hercules Legendary Show and Xena Warrior Prince in the 90s? Yeah, I used to watch both of them. And I thought they were okay. I mean, you watch... It's kind of funny. You watch those shows now, and you'll see like how many big name actors were in those shows. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of impressive too at the same time. Vamp, you wish Spawn would return. They've been talking about doing another Spawn movie for a long time. I hope it gets greenlit because I think it could be really, really good. Black Wolf, I had my first smoothie in years, a banana peanut butter blueberry smoothie. Well, I hope you liked it. Unfortunately, I'm allergic to peanut butter in general, so I wouldn't be able to try that. Sean, you want to know, how would you describe Garrus in 2 words? Ultimate bro. Easy. Sean, how would you describe Miranda? Really smart. Garrus is ultimate bro. Miranda is really smart. Black Wolf, if I were in charge of a comedic sitcom about Egyptian, what the? I would have Anubis as a judge. I mean, I guess. I mean, he is the Lord of the Dead, and he judges the fallen spirits and guides them over to the other side. So I think that's kind of the role you would give him anyway. Mayboom, they're thinking about putting Mr. Freeze, Hush, Calendar Man, Quarter Vows, also putting Robin in the trilogy. I heard rumors of stuff like that. I heard the next one would have Mr. Freeze. I'm curious how they plan to do that one. Hopefully they don't go this like superpower route. They kind of ground it, and I think they could. I think it's possible. I think there's definitely some villains I don't think you could ground, but I definitely think in some senses, Mr. Freeze, you could do that. Make a serious take on his character. In order to understand Amazon Riders, you'll have to watch. Maybe if I have time. Bob, I think there's a lot of money in. No. I'm good. Besides, I'm trying to lose weight, so doing a lot of eating just wouldn't work. Thoughts on the Trump situation? I don't really care. I stopped caring a long time ago. I'm not on either side. I don't care. I'll be honest. I've never actually voted for anybody because I don't take the presidency serious anymore. Like, at this point, it's the way I've always viewed it is that I don't think this two-party system works because it seems like Democrats and Republicans are like so hostile. They don't have common grounds in order for improvement. It's like Democrats don't know how to they don't know how to improve things, and Republicans don't even try. And I actually looked at like a history of like how often the parties switch, and it's really crazy, like how back and forth the Republicans and Democrats go when it comes to the presidency. Like the last time you actually had like a long period of time that one party had control of the presidency, it was back in like 1921 to 1933. Like it was like 3 whole terms where I think Republicans were in charge. But like when you keep doing that back and forth, you essentially keep undoing any positive work that the prior president did. So that the next president, who's probably going to be Trump, is going to have to spend like 2 years trying to undo Biden stuff. And then he's only going to have 2 years to do stuff, and then he's out the office anyway for good. So like, because you don't have long reigns, you don't have a lot of time to do anything. And even if you do something, the next person after you is probably going to be someone from the other party. And he or she has to spend their first 2 years undoing everything you did. Then they can be president for 1 whole year, and then the 4th year is focused on re-election. And then if they get that second term, that's when they have like a good number of years they can do stuff, only for the opposing party to take over after them and have to spend 2 years, and it just keeps recycling. So nothing ever really gets done. So it's just a crazy situation. Favorite AMR? I'm not sure what that stands for. Is Miranda my side piece? No. What's the mystery game? Haven't decided. What's my favorite food to eat? Panda orange chicken. How far in Yu-Gi-Oh! The Island Arc would you be able to throw your strongest deck? I'm not Island Arc. What do you mean? I don't understand, Rodin. I was talking about what happened to Trump's ear. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't care. So someone tried to assassinate him. I don't care. I don't care. I generally don't care. I don't care who's president. I don't care who it is. I really don't. I don't know the guy. I don't like either of them. I don't like Biden. I don't like Trump. I don't like the presidency in general. Just like, dude, I am so far below on the food chain of people in this country. Nothing that happens up there affects me. Like if they were to suddenly start World War III, I'm too old to be drafted, so I don't have to worry about that. And if nuclear war does happen, I'm hoping I'm long dead before that happens. So it's not my problem. Uh, no, yeah, Bob, that would be an awful idea. That is easily one of the worst ideas I've heard all year, by far. Do I think I could do a better job writing Spider-Man comics? No, I'm not a good writer. What's the scariest bug in my opinion? A mosquito. Do I like snakes? No, I do not. One thing I know, Democrats and Republicans have a different view on around guns. I don't know. I don't know. They just can't agree on anything. They have no common ground, and I hate going through this crap every 4 years. It's annoying. I agree. Politics. I mean, I would say this. It's like the difference between do you want a retard or a drunk? Both are bad choices. But it's just like, who do you trust more? A person who's just completely incompetent or a person who's guaranteed to cause destruction? I mean, when was the last time you guys realize it's been like so long since we had a young president? Like even Obama was like I believe he was in his 50s. Like, you guys realize like the youngest, like, and apparently the youngest you can be is like 40. Like, we haven't had that in like a long time. Like someone that like emits energy, and like, and we're hiring all these old geezers. They're like old enough to be grandparents. I mean, like. And then you go back and you look at like some of the older presidents, and it's crazy how young they were. The island forgot what it's called, but You mean the Duelist Kingdom? How far would I go with my decks? With the modern rules? Good God, I would. If I brought my modern deck with the mixture of Xyz and Synchros and Links and all that stuff, and I took it to Duelist Kingdom, dude, I would destroy everyone. Not even Pegasus' Toon cards would work. And here's the thing. These decks are so technical, even if you could see the opponent's deck, even if you could see their cards, Pegasus wouldn't be able to stop me. Like, you literally could play like even if you saw your opponent's hand, you would have no way of stopping it. Like, that's how over technical the game is now. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, trust me, if you take on like a certain deck that you know extremely well, like if I take on like another Dark Magician deck, I don't need to see their hand, because I run those type of decks. I know exactly how they work. I know them inside and outside. I know what card he's going to use. I could use my opponent's deck and perform just as well. Like, that's how decks are now. So you think this would be hard for Kaiba to deal with? I doubt it. I'm sure like Kaiba's got the whole Desi thing down, so I think he'd be okay. Do you think Shingles is scarier than I don't know what either of those are, so Black Wolf, so I can't comment. Why do I hate the RE4 remake? Because they remade a game that didn't need to be remade. I mean, when you try to remake perfection, you take away everything that made the game perfect in the first place. And in the direction that like I saw that game, I saw a good amount of that gameplay. Like, had I played that, I guarantee you I would have given that a 4. And when you look at the remakes, they gradually got worse. Like, so I gave the remake of 2, I gave that like an 8.5. I think I gave the remake to 3 like a 7 or a 6.5. The remake of 4 would have gotten like a 5 or a 4, and it would have been a game like I would play for like an hour, and then never want to play it again. Like, all I had to do was play the demo. I played the demo for the remake, and I was just like, this does not feel like 4 at all. Like, everything that was 4 is gone. The gameplay doesn't feel like 4. The visuals don't look like 4. Even the characters are completely unlikable. Like Leon is so goddamn depressed. He's like, any charm or like wit is gone. Like, that's not Leon S. Kennedy. That's a completely different character. And I understand some people say, well, you know, that's the take of Leon in 4 is not compatible with the version of him in 2. And I was like, well, I can't say that, because 1, I was introduced to Resident Evil with 4. I didn't play those older games till after I was done with 6. So as far as I'm concerned, that's the version of Leon I like. I thought I don't use links. I only use like a couple links that are pretty easy to summon. They're only utility links. Like Anaconda or Blackluster Soldier. Like something like that. That are really, really easy to get out. What would you do right now if Donald Trump walked into my room and asked to play Little Big Planet with me? I would say, one, Mr. Trump, what are you doing in my house? How do you know where I live? What are you doing here? I think you got bigger things to work. And on top of that, I don't own a copy of Little Big Planet and I'm not interested. So I would politely ask you to get the hell out of my house. It's annoying because necessarily, however, I think it always makes me think how much different me and my family... Oh, okay. I apologize, Black Wolf. Do I play games on PC? I play like a few games. Like, I wouldn't say I'm a PC gamer, but there's like a few games I play on an emulator on my PC. But I wouldn't say I'm a PC gamer. Mayboom, I'm... Concede an interested idea. Bad Blood, Predators. I don't know, Mayboom. I don't know enough about any of those things, so I can't say. Pegasus, Mystic Powers help me. Mystic Powers, how none of this makes sense. A lot of things about Yu-Gi-Oh! Don't make sense, but we still play it. You haven't played the remake in a long time. Well, I'll never play it ever, so yeah. What rating would I give? That never got a rating. That never got a rating, Sean. And I don't know why you're trying to get me pissed off all of a sudden, because it's not funny. Remake Leon is like live action. I don't know. You gave the Resident Evil 3 a 7. That's kind of you. Yeah, like, I mean, it was a short-ass game. It didn't even feel like a full game. It felt like DLC. Like, you literally could have made a DLC for 2 and it just been an attachment. Like, that game took out so much from the original of 3. Like, it's crazy. They ripped out entire sections. And it didn't even feel like a major upgrade. I would say gameplay-wise, the only thing they added was, like, a slight, like, juke dodge button. Like, gameplay-wise, it was completely identical to 2. When people say Remake Leon fits more with the previous game, I just tell them I don't care. I'm in the same boat. I don't care. Resident Evil 3 Remake wasn't bad. It just simply that over an hour of content was cut. Yeah, I mean, it should have at least been... They could have extended it. They could have made the game longer. If Leon went through so much and still managed to be cool and cosmetic, that's just badass. Well, I mean, that's why I like his version in 4 the best. Have I played Alien vs. Predator 2 in 2001? No. I own a version of Alien vs. Predator that came out on the PlayStation 3, but I think that came out like in 2006, 2007. Maybe 2004, somewhere around there. Okay, and I'm all caught up on questions, so that's good. And we got 30 minutes left. Man, that went by fairly quickly. Oh, dear God. If movie 43 started with having bad actors, would I watch it? No. Because I didn't know. Okay, here's the problem with movie 43. I didn't know what it was. No one knew what it was. It was like, and that was the whole promotion. Like, look at all the promotion for that movie. No one could, they didn't tell you what it was. Like, the trailers weren't clear. Like, is this supposed to be a comedy? Is this supposed to be sketches, like SNL? Like, no one knew what it was. And that was its whole draw. It literally was like, what is movie 43? Nobody could tell you until you saw it. Like, so I was like, what is it? And then found out it isn't about anything. It's like Resident Evil 3 Remake Umbrella was on a low budget. They gave the Nemesis a bin bag for a coat. Yeah, I can understand that. Do you think Terminator is a good franchise? I think it's in an okay spot right now, I would say. It's been struggling since Terminator 2. I think their recent game looked pretty cool, and I know they're making like an animated series on Netflix that looks really good. That might be like the best Terminator content we've had in decades. So I'm curious to see how well it goes. AVP 2 was one of the best AVP games. I didn't play that. I would have been 10 or 11 at the time. So yeah, M-rated games were not on my radar unless it was like Mortal Kombat or something. Terminator is not in an okay spot. It's pretty much dead, in my opinion. I can understand that. I think if you're talking about just the movies, you might be right. But like if you've played the recent games, I would say that last Terminator game was actually pretty good. And if you've seen just the trailer for the animated series for Netflix, that looks really good too. So it might be kind of going through like a positive period, but like away from the live action films. Like I've played some Terminator games that I've genuinely enjoyed, and I thought they were actually really good games. I haven't seen it, but heard of it. Sounds like they were blackmailed into the movie. I heard stories about that happening. I did because I mean to have like yeah. Let's move on. Dark Fate killed it. Yeah, I agree. I think it killed the live action films, and it somehow made watching Terminator 2 pointless. So yeah, I would say when it comes to the live action movies, I would say yeah, Terminator's dead and they should never make another one. But I'm not saying they can't make more games or animated series. I think those could be really good. Terminator 2 was the true ending, honestly. A lot of people feel that way. Real ones remember the 3TG. Yeah, I don't know how many people were around when I made that. That was a long time ago. I like all the Terminators movies, but I just love them mainly for Terminators. And okay, I mean, everyone has their own taste. Not here to criticize. Hmm. Yeah, nope. Have I played Terminator 3, the game? I actually got that. I got two versions. I remember I got like Terminator 3, the first person shooter. People say that was bad, but I thought that was. It had interesting elements. And then I do remember playing, I believe, Terminator 3 Redemption, and that was a third person shooter. And that was actually good. I actually liked that game a lot. So in terms of Terminator 3 games, I actually thought they were okay. Dark Fate is the only Terminator movie I hate. Even Genesis I liked. Yeah, surprisingly I like Genesis. I didn't mind. I thought it was funny how that's the only one where Arnold doesn't die. I was like he typically gets killed in all these films, and that's the only one that he survives. I thought it was an interesting concept. They spoiled too much in the trailer, revealing that John Connor became a Terminator. Whoever put that in the trailer needed to be fired, because I was like, that would have been like a nice like surprise, but no, we knew. Terminator 3 PS2 reminds me of Doom and Wolfenstein. Yeah, it had that feeling, and it actually had I think the story of how the Terminator fought his way to the time dispensement chamber, I thought that was interesting. I generally thought that part was actually cool. What about the Terminator 2 arcade game? If you're talking about like the on-rail shooter, yeah, I played that. I played that a lot. I thought it was fine. I think I'm decent at it. Am I a fan of Alien? If so, am I excited for Romulus? I'm excited. I would say I'm an average fan, but I'm not the biggest fan. Like I don't. I've only seen Alien once. I'm not a fan of it. I like Aliens. I don't care much for 3. I think 4 is okay. I thought Prometheus was good. I think Alien Covenant, I only saw that once. I thought that was just kind of forgettable. Alien Romulus, it looks like it's trying to go back to form, so I'll give it a chance, but I'm not setting my bar for that too high. It might surprise me. I like to imagine as a I yeah, Bob, I don't think that's a good idea. Yeah, that sounds like a horrible idea. We got 24 minutes. I might not even do a mystery stream. There's a couple of things I need to do to get ready for tomorrow because I gotta leave at like 10:30, and it's gonna end up being hot. And no one showed up at the last stream. I think only Zach showed up, so I'm starting to think maybe we shouldn't do the mystery streams anymore because people won't come. So that's where I'm at right now. Maybe if I get enough attention, maybe. But yeah, last few streams like no one has shown up. Like maybe one person, and like so that kind of tells me that maybe people aren't don't really care. It's kind of similar to what happened to me on Twitch. Like just like I tried everything and like no one would show up. Maybe I don't have a big enough following. Not to be remade, but would I be open to seeing Terminator being made into this generation story, being the same except with a younger cast? I don't think they can. I just don't think it's not necessary. Not right now. Like I would wait like 20, 30 years before even attempting another Terminator. I wonder what Ty could do in a duel against some other duelist. Who knows? Am I still going to do Drebin for cosplay? Unfortunately, I didn't have time. No, I'll try to do it at the at next year. I would have wanted to, but just the fact that I was going to Disneyland. That's the thing. I actually tried to get people who were going to MGS Con to see if they wanted to go to Disneyland too. Because I was arriving 2 days before the convention, so I had like an entire day before MGS Con to like just kind of do whatever I want. And I hadn't been to Disneyland in like 5 years, so I figured, oh, this would be a great time to do a lot of fun things with people who may not have been to Disneyland before, and then just go to MGS Con the next day. And I couldn't find anyone who was actually going, so I just had to ask a friend that I've known for a while. Some of you guys might know her, and she was completely down to it. So it gave her a reason to go to Disneyland because she goes there a lot. But heck, I hadn't been there in years, and this will be like the first time we've actually had a lot of time to hang out for like hours in like 8 years. So I'm looking forward to that. You were asleep last week. It's okay, Van. It's okay. It's cool. What would you change about T3 and the story? I wouldn't change anything. Really. I personally, I actually think the story of Terminator 3 is a good one. Because like, a lot of people don't like that, but here's the thing. The thing about Terminator 3, and the reason I think it's good, is it tells the story that that they're trying to stop Judgment Day, but in a sense, Judgment Day is kind of it needs to happen. You could delay it, you could push it back, but it's an event that has to happen eventually. So it ended up kind of going in a cycle because you need the war to start in order for John to send the Terminators back through time. So it's a circle because the humans were going to win anyway, and that was the whole reason they were sending Terminators back through time. If you try to prevent that, you change things. But if you allow Judgment Day to happen and you fight out the war, you can fight the war knowing that if I send these Terminators back, they're going to succeed in their mission and humanity will still beat the Terminators. And when it comes to storylines that involve time travel, I like when when you can have a cycle. And those are the ones I really like. And I think Terminator 3 did that. If you go to like the movies afterwards, they don't go in that direction. But I mean, I actually do generally like Terminator 3. I was asking because I've seen a couple of actors that really seem to match actors that were in the Terminator back then. I've heard that, but like I wouldn't do it. Next question. Would you tour the Batcave or Avengers Tower? I would tour the Batcave. Avengers Tower's boring. Which Valentine would you hang out with more? My or Jill? Jill, hands down. Next, would you put Mortal Kombat show in a Prime video? What do you mean a Prime video? What do you mean? Would I put a Mortal Kombat show on Prime? Oh, would I put it? I think you can watch Mortal Kombat on Prime if you pay for it and rent it for a couple of days. I think you can. When you watch Terminator 2, do you recognize the Terminator's left arm back in the factory? He left his arm. Yeah, that's one of those little attention to details you don't think about. But yeah, I noticed that. It's like, yeah, he kind of lost part of his arm, so that could have caused something, so. One, who would you want to play? Who would I want to play me in a movie? I wouldn't want to play anyone. No one could play me. Nobody. No one could play me but me. And next, what do I think about world-renowned actor? I'm not familiar with that. Maybe I've seen their movie, but I don't recognize them by their name. Favorite live-action Superman? Probably Henry Cavill. I thought he was. I really enjoyed Man of Steel, and he should have gotten a second Superman film. The fact that he didn't was a crime. I mean, I like Christopher Reeves, but Christopher Reeves was before my time. And then I think about like the TV show Superman that came out in the '90s. I don't really remember watching that very much. So I would say Henry Cavill was like, and then I thought Brandon Routh. I thought Brandon Routh did a really good job at being like a Christopher Reeves version. So I thought he did a good job there. But in terms of like a Superman that felt more for me, I would say Henry Cavill is probably my favorite live-action Superman to this day. Fun fact, the voice actor for L from Death Note was in Man of Steel. I didn't know that. Spencer Scott, if I had a movie to watch right now, what would I watch? Well, I'm currently watching Dead Space, one of the animated films. It was running in the background while I was editing, and I'm right now editing the ranking of the Johto Pokemon Gym Leaders. So I'm expecting to upload that video, hopefully in the next 2 hours. I might upload it right before I head out tomorrow at 10. Topics Gamer meet and greet win. The thing is, I don't think I have a big enough following to do meet and greets. I really don't. I don't think anyone would actually put it like this. I'm not big enough, and I don't have a big enough following to do meet and greets. I don't think anyone would really want to meet me. I'm not that interesting. I think in 12 years on YouTube, I think maybe I've been recognized online when I was gaming. But as far as in person, I've been to multiple conventions. I've never been recognized. I've never been recognized. So I don't have a big enough following. So I'm, as far as I know, 12 years on YouTube and I still don't exist. Anyone you think could play Wolverine after Hugh Jackman? I'm sure there's actors who can. I just don't know who. Next question. Would I make a Star Wars movies? No. I'm not a director. I probably could do a better job than the people in charge right now, but like, is it true MG Delta got delayed? I don't know if Metal Gear Delta got delayed. I don't follow it. I don't think I'll play that. I'm gonna stay away from that game. Anyone who gets it, I hope you have fun with it, but that's probably another game I'll avoid. Do you listen to music when I work out? Absolutely. I got a workout playlist on my phone of like 250 songs. Of course I work out. It helps. Michael Jackson or Linkin Park? Who do I like more? That's tough. That's an almost impossible question. I would say this. I'll answer it like this. If I had to choose between going to a Linkin Park Meteora concert or a Michael Jackson Dangerous concert, I would go with Linkin Park. I would go Linkin Park every time. I think I would have more fun at a Linkin Park concert than I would a Michael Jackson concert. I'll say that. I'll say that one. I won't say who I like better, but I'm saying if I could go to a concert at a specific point in a band or artist's life, I'd go with Linkin Park. I would like to see Brian Finney play the next. Yeah, no, I'm good. If you could write any game movie, which one? Game movie? None. I don't think games need to be turned into movies. I really don't. Don't you think Yu-Gi-Oh let characters write their draws? Rig their draws? No, I don't think they rigged their draws. I mean, I don't think it's rigged if it's an ability you have. So no, I don't think they're rigged. They're scripted, but it's a TV show for kids. So what do you expect? Which of the Justice League shows do I like more, 2001 or Unlimited? Oh, definitely 2001. I thought Unlimited was fine, but I think once they started expanding the Justice League, it got less interesting for me personally. I definitely prefer it when it was just the primary seven. What kind of music do I listen to when I work out? Mainly rock. Mainly. Do you wish you could dance like Michael Jackson? I can dance like Michael Jackson. What are you talking about? I can do that. Do you watch my Adventures with Superman? No, I don't watch that. You can also say MJ and Linkin Park go hand in hand for me. Yeah, I guess you could. Any black actor you think could play Superman? No. Not interested in a black Superman. Not interested. And damn, we still got 12 minutes to go. Wow. What are my thoughts on Static Shock? I think Static Shock's okay, but I'm not the biggest fan of him. Like, if they made a Static Shock movie, maybe I'll go see it, but, it's not a guarantee. What heroes do I think deserve movies? I think all the ones I think deserve movies have already had them. I can't think of a superhero, a comic book character who doesn't have a movie that's not already out. I think they're good. Miles, oh dear Lord. I can't even answer. I'll be honest, Winter Ghost, I can't even answer that question. I don't even know what to say. I don't know. I genuinely can't answer that. I have no idea. Would I live 100 years in the past or future? Would I? Well, as a black man, I wouldn't want to live 100 years in the past, because then I'm in 1920, and there's still a lot of racism that won't be dealt with for 40 years. So, no. But 100 years into the future, who knows? It could be nuclear winter for all we know. So, but yeah, I guess I'll take my chances in the future. Maybe we'll finally have flying cars or something. I don't know. Do you believe rock and metal and rap go together as a good thing or a bad thing? I think with the right artists and the right song, I think it's possible. I've seen combinations where they've kind of mixed rock with rap. There have been successful collaborations like that, so it's certainly possible. I just think you just need the right artists to come together with the right idea. Limp Bizkit, I'm not a Limp Bizkit fan, but my sister was. I remember when we were living at the old house that she had a Limp Bizkit poster, and Limp Bizkit was really big in the '90s. Like a lot of people don't realize, like he was really big in the late '90s. I would say maybe even early 2000s. Like not so much now, but like he was big. Which animal would I like to talk to? A dog. I think talking to a dog would be a very, very fun experience. I hope to get a dog sometime or late this year or next year for sure. Yeah, Bob, I think that's another terrible idea. Another terrible idea. Limp Biscuit is the name of the I know what Limp Biscuit is. Yes, I do know what that is. Yes, yes, I am aware what Limp Biscuit is. Okay, okay, I apologize. I apologize. If you couldn't be invincible, but could transform into an animal and hide in, I transform into a dog. Would you like to? Would you like to exist in the Star Wars or DC? I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to exist in either one of them. They both sound awful. They both sound awful. Those are not fun places to be. Invisible. If I couldn't be invisible, but could transform into an animal, I'd be a dog. Do you remember the show or book series Animorphs? Similar to that. A bunch of teenagers that could transform into animals. You think it would be a bad idea if Square made Final Fantasy VI remake? I would be more accepting of a remake of 6. I would be willing to give that a shot because there's definitely some things about 6 I think they could take out and make it a slightly better flowing game. There's certain Final Fantasy games I don't want a remake for, and there's definitely some of the older games like 16-bit back that if they wanted to remake them, I think I'd be open to give it a shot. Ability to fly or you never have to poop again. Uh, Ability to fly. I think having the ability to fly would be very helpful. I don't mind taking a dump every once in a while. Yep, I'm not even going to answer that question. Next. Next. And we got, I think, like 6 more minutes left. So if you got your questions, you might get them out now. Yeah, next. Want toilet seats or screaming babies in my ear forever? Warm toilet seats. I guess warm toilet seats, I guess? I mean, I don't really notice. I mean, that's odd. Would you like to open would you be open to a PlayStation All Stars 2? Oh, absolutely. They got a lot more PlayStation characters now. You definitely have enough cast members to do a All Stars 2. I really like PlayStation All Star. I wish they'd had more success, but yeah, I would be absolutely open for another one. Do I have a favorite Quentin Tarantino film? Probably Django Unchained. Yeah, I'd probably go with Django Unchained. I have. Well, I am sorry to hear that. That you have childhood traumas. I wasn't never around too many babies over the course of my life, so you know that's not something that hits me a lot. No. No, I would not. Played Death Stranding? Yes, maybe. Yeah, yeah. Hmm. No, no. Seeing where I kept my BB. Yeah. I've played Death Stranding. I got the collector's edition. I have a. Yeah, I think I put it away somewhere. I got the collector's edition for that, and I'm excited to play the next one when it comes out. I just hope it's better. What's my type of humor? That's that just anything that's not political. Just I think I can work with almost any type of humor. We all need a good laugh sometimes. And we got 4 more minutes left. You like black people humor? Uh, I guess. Do I sometimes watch SNL? I don't watch the show, but like once if they like if like a skits on YouTube, I'll watch that. Like they definitely have made some really funny skits, but like I don't like watch the show. But I'll watch the skits, one by one. Some people think Shredder would fit in Mortal Kombat. I could certainly see Shredder fitting in Mortal Kombat. I think there's a I could see that. I mean, you have to remember that the original uh, telling of the Team NT, if you actually look at the original comic books, they're pretty violent. Like the child happy version that we've had for years. That was not the original take of the turtles. They were quite violent and bloody. Do I like Soul Calibur? Not really. I think I played one Soul Calibur once, and it just wasn't for me. Wasn't my type of fighting game. Do I like Shrek? I like Shrek's 1 and 2. I didn't see any past that point. And yes, I did hear that they were making a fifth Shrek, but I'm not sure how to feel about that. I stopped after the second one. Have I watched Invincible on Prime? No, I have not. I know of it, but I've never actually watched it. Would you like to see The Mask made again with a different cast? No. No. Not after that horrible sequel. No. Favorite Nintendo Switch game? Oh, damn, that's tough. Does Super Mario 64 All Star count? Yeah, nah, yeah. Shrek is pretty much the Terminator of DreamWorks. You might be right. As much as you like Spider-Man 2, what is my opinion about the cringe screaming woman every time they see Doc Ock? I didn't even notice that. I'll be honest, I haven't watched that movie in a long time, so never bothered me. Also, the second movie is the best. Yes, of course it is. That's not even up for debate. And that'll do it for today. I want to thank all you guys for joining in this chat. I would like to guys give you a serious heads up. If you haven't already, I would strongly recommend you follow me on any of my social media outlets, whether it would be X or Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, because I will be posting a lot over the next 3 days. Like a lot. I will be taking tons of photos. I will be filming a lot, so I'll have like a number of videos that I'll be uploading when I get back from my trip on the 21st. So I'll have like a lot of editing to do. So if you haven't, I would strongly recommend, because trust me, I'll be shocked if I post anything less than like 50 to 70 pictures. So I will be posting as much as I can everywhere I go. So again, I want to thank you guys for watching. You guys are awesome, and I will see you guys next week.